Welcome back to Eagle Explore. Today we're diving into the heart of the Lone Star State with a topic that might surprise you. 10 reasons why Texas isn't for everyone. You've probably heard about the great barbecue, the cowboy culture, and that irresistible Texas charm. But before you pack your bags and move to Texas, let's take a moment to uncover some of the challenges that come with living in this vast state. From the blistering summer heat that feels like a never-ending sauna to the sky-high property taxes that might make you feel like you're renting your own home from the state, Texas has its fair share of quirks. Imagine navigating through endless traffic jams or facing extreme weather conditions like hurricanes and tornadoes. These are just a few reasons why some folks might reconsider their plans to move to Texas. But wait, there's more. Did you know that despite not having state income tax, the high sales tax can turn your shopping spree into a weeping spree? And if you're thinking about public transportation, think again. Unless you're in a major city, you might find yourself walking miles to get anywhere. Stay tuned as we reveal all 10 reasons why Texas might not be the perfect fit for everyone. Whether you're a city slicker or a country lover, this video will give you the insights you need before deciding to move to Texas. So, are you ready to find out what makes Texas both amazing and challenging? Let's get started. Number 10. Extreme heat. Welcome to Texas, folks, where living feels like stepping into a giant outdoor sauna. Imagine the thermostat stuck on broil all the time. That's Texas. Now, Texas's heat is a bit unique. It might not be as consistently hot as Nevada or Arizona, but it comes with a hefty dose of humidity in many parts, especially down towards Beaumont and Houston. A couple of years back, I was in San Antonio and Austin, and the humidity was off the charts. Even in Dallas last September, the humidity was intense. Sure, Texas isn't as deep south as Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, or Florida, but in some parts, it shares that same scorching summer weather. Summers in Texas regularly see temperatures climbing over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, making you question if you're being roasted for a Texas barbecue. The sun is relentless, turning asphalt into a griddle and making your car's AC your best friend. And don't even get me started on the electric bills due to this heat. On average, the summer temperature across Texas is about 86 degrees. For comparison, Arizona averages 91 degrees, Idaho hits around 82 degrees, and Iowa is at 83 degrees. So, if brutally hot summers aren't your thing, Texas might not be your ideal spot. But if you love it hot all year round, then Texas could be your dream destination. Hey there, where are you from? I want to know which city you're watching our video from. Please leave a comment so we don't feel lonely. A small action like this will motivate us to make more videos. Thank you, and much love to you. Number 9. High taxes. You know, Texas is often praised for having no state income tax. That sounds great, right? But hold on, because while they skip the state income tax, other taxes are through the roof. Property taxes in Texas are so high that homeowners sometimes feel like they're renting their homes from the state. The average effective property tax rate in Texas is about 1.69%, whereas the national average is around 1.01%. So, while you might save on income tax, the property tax bill can hit you like a Texas-sized storm. And that's not all. Texas also has a high sales tax. Picture yourself at the checkout line, and your wallet just wants to cry. The combined sales tax rate in Texas is about 8.25%. Compare that to places like Oregon, which has no sales tax, and you'll feel the pinch even more. That extra percentage on your purchases adds up quickly, turning your shopping spree into a weeping spree. Texas's tax structure might be a deal breaker for some, despite the lack of state income tax. When you add up property taxes and sales taxes, it can make living in Texas quite expensive. So if you're thinking about moving to Texas, keep these high taxes in mind. While it might seem appealing at first, the overall tax burden can be surprisingly heavy. Number 8. Limited public transportation and traffic. In Texas, unless you find yourself in cities like Austin, Houston, or Dallas, you might as well forget about public transportation. It's as rare as snow in July here. Without a car, you're going to be hoofing it everywhere, which might make you feel like you're training for a marathon. Getting around often means navigating a tangled web of highways, making a car not just a luxury, but a necessity. Now, let me tell you about these overpasses, especially the ones in San Antonio. They look like something out of an amusement park, with towering heights and steep angles that make you feel like you're on a roller coaster. If you're not keen on heights, these might make your palms sweat. Traffic in major Texan cities like Houston and Dallas can really test your patience. Rush hour often feels like it stretches on forever, and you'll get very familiar with the inside of your car. Both cities rank among the top 20 most congested in the US. What should be a 30-minute commute can easily double or triple on a bad day. While they're not quite as bad as the traffic nightmares of San Francisco, Los Angeles, or Boston, they are still far from being easy on the nerves. The congestion can be a real headache, turning a simple drive into a lengthy ordeal. Number 7. Hurricanes and severe weather. Hold on tight because Texas weather is not just hot, it's wild and unpredictable. The state is a magnet for natural disasters, from hurricanes battering the Gulf Coast to tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. In 2020 alone, Texas was struck by 4 major hurricanes, making hurricane preparedness a yearly necessity for many residents. On average, Texas experiences about 137 tornadoes each year. While many of these tornadoes are small and don't cause much damage, the state does get hit by some powerful ones. Contrary to what you might expect, the majority of tornadoes don't occur near the Oklahoma border, but rather in Harris County, where Houston is located. This is according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Texas weather can turn on a dime. One minute, it's sunny and calm, and the next, you're dealing with torrential rain and high winds. This kind of severe weather can cause significant damage and disrupt everyday life, making it a critical consideration for anyone thinking about moving to Texas. The state's weather is a major reason to think twice about relocating here. The combination of extreme heat, high humidity, and the threat of hurricanes and tornadoes means living in Texas comes with a unique set of challenges. It's a place where you need to be prepared for anything Mother Nature might throw at you. When it comes to Texas, you have to weigh the pros and cons carefully. The lack of efficient public transportation, the relentless traffic in major cities, and the severe weather conditions are all significant factors to consider. While the state has its own charm and attractions, these challenges make it clear that Texas isn't the right fit for everyone. Number 6. High crime rates in certain areas. Watch your back might as well be the motto in several parts of Texas. Many assume Texas has low crime rates since cities like Detroit, Chicago, New York City, Camden, and Baltimore dominate the headlines for high crime. But some areas in Texas have crime rates that would make anyone cautious. One big reason for the misconception about Texas's crime rate is the state's gun culture. Texas is extremely Second Amendment friendly, and almost everyone carries a firearm. If you're uncomfortable with the idea of widespread gun ownership, Texas might not be the best fit for you. However, if you're an enthusiast, you'll find plenty of like-minded individuals to discuss caliber sizes with. Certain regions in Texas have crime rates that would make even the bravest cowboy think twice. Take Houston, for example. The city has a violent crime rate of 1,095 incidents per 100,000 residents. To put that in perspective, the national average is 368 per 100,000. So, safety can be a significant concern in some Houston neighborhoods. Other cities like Laredo also have high crime rates. This is crucial information for anyone considering a move to Texas. While the Lone Star State has its charms, the high crime rates in specific areas are a serious factor to weigh. Number 5. Limited access to healthcare. In rural Texas, finding a doctor can be as tough as finding a needle in a haystack. The state leads the nation in the number of uninsured residents, and access to healthcare is a major issue, especially in rural areas. When evaluating healthcare, outcomes and access are key metrics. Outcomes measure how well health problems are addressed, while access evaluates how easy it is to see a healthcare provider. Rural Texas suffers in the access department. The vast distances between many residents and the nearest hospital significantly impact their healthcare grades. This doesn't mean the quality of care is poor when you can access it. The facilities and professionals are top-notch. But for many, especially in rural areas, a trip to the doctor is a rare event. If you live in a major city like Austin, Houston, or Dallas, healthcare access is much better, and you'll likely have no issues getting the care you need. However, if you're planning to move to a smaller town or rural area in Texas, you should be aware that medical specialists and large healthcare facilities are sparse. This could be a deal breaker, particularly if you have a medical condition requiring specialist care. The convenience of quick and easy access to healthcare is something many take for granted, but in rural Texas, it can be a significant challenge. So, if healthcare access is a priority for you, think carefully about where in Texas you plan to settle down. Number 4. Conservative politics. Texas is known for its strong conservative stance, often referred to as a red state. It's been a Republican stronghold for decades, voting for the Republican presidential candidate in every election since 1980. If you lean liberal, you might feel out of place, like a blue dot in a sea of red, often having to defend your progressive values. The state's legislature reflects this conservative viewpoint, impacting various aspects of life, including education and healthcare. However, there's a shift happening. Texas is gradually moving towards becoming a purple state, indicating a mix of both conservative and liberal influences. The change isn't swift, but it's noticeable. Many Texans attribute this shift to the influx of Californians moving to the state, although this is only part of the story. Historically, about 65% of first-time registered voters in the 1970s, 80s, and most of the 90s registered as Republicans. This percentage included independents, who typically make up a significant portion of the voter base. In the early 2000s, the number of first-time Republican voters dropped to about 50%, with 30% registering as Democrats and the rest as independents. By 2016, the trend shifted further, with only 41% of first-time voters registering as Republicans, 32% as Democrats, and the remainder as independents. Current trends suggest that by 2025, independents might become the largest voting bloc in Texas. This evolving political landscape could impact the state's future policies and governance. Number 3. Water shortage. Texas, especially the western part, is predominantly a desert state. It's very dry, and droughts are a common occurrence, leading to water restrictions and dry lawns. If you're dreaming of a lush green lawn that resembles a golf course, you might be disappointed. While areas like Houston and Beaumont might have more greenery, most of Texas is quite dry. Water conservation is a daily concern, and residents need to be mindful of their water usage. Comparatively, there are states with worse water shortages, but if you're moving from the East Coast, the Upper Midwest, or New England, drought might be a new concept for you. These regions typically have abundant water sources, with creeks and springs being common. In Texas, finding natural water sources like creeks and streams is rarer. This is similar to Oregon, where water is plentiful, with ponds and streams being a common sight. Adapting to the dry conditions and the need for water conservation can be a significant change for newcomers from more water-rich areas. Water scarcity in Texas is a critical issue that affects daily life and long-term sustainability. The state has implemented various measures to manage water resources, but the challenge remains significant. For those considering a move to Texas, understanding and preparing for these water-related issues is essential. Number 2. High electricity bills. Living in Texas means navigating a deregulated electrical market, which can lead to surprisingly high electricity bills. While your AC might keep you cool during those scorching summers, your electric bill might leave you sweating. Texans pay an average of 14.85 cents per kilowatt hour, compared to the national average of 11.54 cents. This makes energy efficiency a crucial consideration for anyone living in Texas. During the summer, electricity bills can be particularly outrageous, with some areas seeing bills that are about 25% higher than the national average. On average, residents spend around $210 per month on electricity, totaling approximately $2,400 annually. This is about 9% higher than the national average. Many households exceed this average, making it a significant expense. States like Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and Hawaii might have higher rates, but Texas is still among the top when it comes to electricity costs. If you're planning to move to Texas, it's wise to budget for those high summer electricity bills and consider investing. Number 1. Real estate on the rise. Texas has become a popular destination, and real estate prices are reflecting this trend. As more people move in and housing availability decreases, prices naturally go up. This applies to both purchasing homes and renting. Another factor driving up real estate prices is the influx of tech companies. These companies attract well-paid employees, and landlords and homeowners are quick to capitalize on this by raising prices. This phenomenon mirrors what happened in San Francisco, where tech industry wealth led to skyrocketing housing costs. In Texas, the trend is just beginning. The state continues to attract tech companies and newcomers from places like California and New York, which pushes real estate prices even higher. For instance, a home that might sell for $450,000 in Texas could cost $3 million in San Francisco due to the higher income levels and demand there. This ongoing trend means that if you're considering moving to Texas for affordable real estate, you might want to act fast. The deals are still there, but they might not last long as the state continues to grow in popularity. It's a clear case of supply and demand, and right now, demand is high, making Texas real estate a hot commodity. This concludes today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, and if you didn't, please hit like and leave a comment to let us know. Thank you.